You're watching the Health Now Nutrition podcast, advancing our nutrition and holistic industry one story at a time. Here's your host, Michelle Post. Hi, everyone. This is Michelle here, and I am from Health Now Nutrition. And I am your founder for the Saved by Nutrition anthology that will be coming out shortly as soon as we can. I would just like to share a little bit about my story and creating my own writing, my own why story of why I do holistic nutrition has come from quite a place. Since discovering how nutrition has actually created amazing health in myself, I've learned that many people don't realize the power that nutrition has. And I've become very passionate about sharing that message with people. And the reason why is nutrition has played a key role in my own health because I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease when I was at the young age of 19, just shy of my 20th birthday. I was told I would never work again. That was it. That was it for me. So at 19 years old, I would never work again. Here is in Alberta, it's called HNNI. So they offered me the welfare program for people with disabilities, that's what I would have for the rest of my life. And at 19, almost 20 years old, I couldn't see that happening. I couldn't see this young, good-looking girl never finding a mate or finding a mate that didn't want to move beyond in the world. And again, without having support from my own family, yes, I was criticized for coming down with an illness. Even to this day, I've been criticized for coming down with an illness. So I had zero support. So going through my life and finding out ways to actually help myself, I didn't even discover nutrition until way later in life. First of all, it was about getting rid of the toxic relationships that I had. As nutrition, we deal with the whole body, mind, spirit, and we take away things that could be causing issues within the body because every cell actually understands it and can hold on to negative emotions, as I found out with many, many of my clients and other members that I know. So I learned about nutrition when I was actually in, how old was I? I was in my early 40s. And that had come to be when I actually did get rid of the toxic family that I had. And that seemed to make wonders of the Crohn's disease. I was taking everything around me in very toxically. And so when I finally got rid of them, I finally met my wonderful spouse. And we wanted to try to have children. And I used try because it was a struggle for many years. When we married, I was already 37, and we had already been botched down by the medical system by creating different issues of health within my dear husband as well, which gave him zero count when it needed to be millions of count, if you know what I mean. So we went to the clinic when I was 40 years old, and finally by the age of 42, I was able to do my first in vitro fertilization. Now, it failed because I still hadn't discovered nutrition. My body was still holding on to so many toxins from a regular North American diet. So it's a standard American diet is what we call it. And because of that, well, my fertility health at 42 was actually in the perimenopausal phase, which for most people is quite normal. I started that when I was about 38 with awful sleep and awful, night flashes and waking up with sweats and cystic acne, which you won't see now to this day because I've discovered the power of nutrition. And we did our first IVF when I was 42 years old. And by the time we found out, it was just devastating to see that it wasn't going to work out. So we enrolled, we did all the studying we could, and I did, and I found out nutrition for fertility's sake, because I never wanted to see myself without children. And 6 months later, we did it. We did another in vitro fertilization, and we had from 3 poor quality embryos at 42 years old, we went up to 10 medium and high quality embryos. And here in Calgary, that was just unheard of. They've never seen anyone increase their fertility in a geriatric age. That's what it's called. It's a geriatric age. Super fun. So they were just surprised. And yes, we did get pregnant. We actually did conceive. And unfortunately, that didn't last. It lasted for about 3.5 months when we found out it was a miscarriage. Super sadness. But the very fact that we had defied the odds, due to fertility. Now, nowadays, when it comes to Crohn's disease, well, Crohn's disease is also known as an infertility killer. Like it can actually just down it. You're not getting the right nutrients in your body to sustain life. The body shuts down. There's usually panic when it comes to it. There's all different kinds of issues when it comes to illness and ailments inside the body, and fertility is one of them. So Crohn's disease definitely downed my ability to conceive and have children. However, by turning our lives around in a 6-month period of time, eating whole foods, cutting out refined foods, adding the right supplementation for me, I was able to increase my fertility health at 42 by 300%. And at the same time, I was able to get rid of all my perimenopausal symptoms. No more hot sweats, no more waking up with, this much water between me and my husband. It was absolutely great. No more acne, as you can see. My skin, I just absolutely love it. And of course, my Crohn's disease, well, it's a history with Crohn's disease now. I actually have amazing movements. I don't have to be on any medications. I haven't had to be on medications now for decades. So I'm super, super grateful. So this for me is the power of nutrition, because my life has changed immensely. Because of that, I also wrote a book called No Sweat, which I should have had here available for you to see as well. And I'm also part of a collaborative called Reach Your Greatness with James Malinchak you can remember him from NBC or ABC. Yes, from ABC. So he was in The Secret Millionaire. So that was just fantastic mentorship. And because of that, I realized that there's got to be other people who have decided to study the accredited schools of education that we have in Canada in order to get the right science so we can understand why this works inside the body. So along with myself and many other contributors throughout Canada, I've created a book called Saved by Nutrition. It's an anthology from tragedy to triumph, showcasing numerous different types of ailments that people have overcome. These ailments range anywhere from cancer diagnoses, my own Crohn's diagnosis, irritable bowel syndrome, sickle cell anemia, depression, you name it, different types of cancers. It's really quite amazing. Even anti-aging tactics from people who didn't want to grow up and have the same cardiovascular issues that they saw in their parents. And they've managed to actually repair their bodies using nutrition, and how important nutrition is. Where are the days when we used to say, you are what you eat? Are you refined foods? Are you simple sugars? No, I'm way more complex than that. I have a great running system because of that. And I want to help empower other holistic nutritionists and nutritional consultants from across Canada and the world. We do have people in Qatar, in Hong Kong, be able to share their stories and showcase why nutrition should be the basic component for all of us when it comes to prevention, when it comes to ensuring our bodies are running optimally, so that way we can fight off other illnesses or ailments that may be coming about even now. So stay tuned for the great podcasts that you'll be seeing here and interviews with the amazing contributors of Saved by Nutrition. I look forward to seeing you.